Hi everyone, just recording a quick video here to share a bit of an insight that I've had into the way that I've built my practice as a consultant, as a trainer over the last few years. Sorry, I'm sort of silhouetted here. It's a beautiful day out there. The sun's coming through the window, but I'm not actually in some kind of weird alternate universe. Anyway, so the thing that I've realized is when you're running a consulting firm, running a training business, like whatever the services businesses that you run, and if you're at a level in the firm that revenue generation is your responsibility, then you have no choice. You have to figure out how you're going to generate revenue. And you can only generate revenue by building relationships with clients who are ultimately going to buy from you. And one of the things that has kind of been a challenge for me over the years was a deep kind of fear and lack of comfort with some of the kind of traditional sales methods of going to networking events, going to conferences, building those kind of connections in person. It's not something that I'm particularly good at. I find those types of events like very busy and noisy, and partly my autistic brain just doesn't cope very well with those kind of environments. And I came to realize that there are effectively two broad ways you can go about building your revenue generation machine. You can go down the route of in-person sessions, calling people, having conversations, dropping by the desk of clients when you're on client site and asking for a coffee. All of those things that broadly might come more comfortably to you if you're an extrovert. Or you can go down the route of building visible authority and expertise online. And there's no right or wrong answer to this. You can build extremely productive sales engines either way. Or if you're particularly adept, you can do both. But if you come back to the foundational thing that I started with here, which is if you have responsibility for revenue generation, you've got to figure out a way to make this work. So if you're overwhelmed and scared by the idea of sharing your expertise online and building visible authority on LinkedIn, for example, then you have to go down the route of building connections with individuals on a person-to-person basis. And that is best done by picking up the phone, sending the email, dropping by people's desk, going to conferences, going to networking events. If you're scared by all of that type of thing, then you still have to become known as someone that is an expert, and you have to refine your expertise and position your expertise with a laser focus on the problems you solve for the people that you want to work with. And you've got to put that out online, and largely on LinkedIn and newsletters and articles and maybe YouTube videos, etc. There is no real option to not do either of those things and still grow your business beyond your existing clients. Now, the foundation of that growth is always going to be delivering superb client work and getting referrals and getting recommendations and being known for quality. Like, you can't get away from that either. But don't try and think, I have to go to these conferences and networking events, or I have to post on LinkedIn. There's no one-size-fits-all answer here. There are options. There's not many options, but there are options. But if you have to generate revenue, you've got to do one of these things. You've got to choose a path and just get used to doing it. And if it scares you, like it scares a lot of consultants to do that, just take some steps. Dip a toe in the water, desensitize yourself, and before you know it, you'll be sitting in your room at home, recording a video, posting it on LinkedIn, and not worrying what people think about it, because you're sharing your expertise and you're hoping it's going to help people. So sit down and think, what do I have to generate from a revenue perspective, and where am I most comfortable taking a step in that direction? Am I an introvert or an extrovert? If you need to understand about your own personality and how that shows up and how that makes some things easier for you and some things harder, then do the work to understand that. Build that self-awareness and get out there and make people know that you exist, you're an expert, and you're here to solve some problems for them in whatever way works most effectively for you.